We have already seen several in this tournament of these 120 or so sole survivor qualifiers, and to a man, they seem to be playing very aggressive and very good poker. Maybe just an indication of how strong the online game is these days.
Pass, pass, pass.
Oh, well, this is interesting. Hogan just limp with the deuces and make her in there with a raise for the sevens. And I think with a suited ace-10, this time, I mean, he feels he's up against something stronger. He's out of position this time. Doesn't like his ace-10 as much as he did last time, and this one gets through. I like the way Donica, looks at the different situations and evaluates the same hand very, very differently, Jesse.
Yeah, well, he is such a wise no-limit hold'em player, and perhaps an indication that Tim Smaker is on the tighter side, or at least that's how he's perceived at this table.
Pass, pass, pass.
We saw Hogan raise with the queen-4 when it was folded around to him before. He's obviously a man who likes to open.
Of course, he was on the button that time, and if he's counting out a raise now, you've got to figure he's got something a bit better than
C4 raise to
queen-4.
1,050.
That's a pretty large raise.
1,050.
It's 3.5 times the BB. What does that mean?
This is often ace-king when someone raises like that, but in this case, it's something a little bit better.
Wow.
And didn't make her, although his hand is pretty, that's far too expensive.
Yeah, usually when guys have aces, they raise a little smaller. So maybe this is nice deception from Hogan.
Wow, Pavlov.
Call of 1,000.
Wow, how has he found just the call here? I think he's looking for a low flop. I think he's thinking that Hogan might very well have an ace-king, and if it comes a rag flop, I think this is going to be very costly for Pavlov, Jesse. Well, that king might be the saving of Pavlov.
I mean, obviously, yeah. He is now going to give himself a chance not to go broke when so many people would have.
Well, now he's just to make sure he's leading out.
All right, he's check called here.
Oh, check called. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
And he may be willing to get away from this on the turn. This is decision time. This is the
check.
Wow. Now, I mean, it's kind of a good bit of pot control and a good bit of disguising of the hand. Now he wants to find out if he's good. And Hogan might just call this, Jesse, yes. And Pavlov found the way not to do too much money, and Hogan got an extra bet by checking behind on the turn there.
Aces and threes.
King saved you, boy. The king saved you.
Well, he said it himself. He said the king saved you, and I think that's right. I mean, I think the king made the action a lot slower, and by checking behind on the turn, for pot control and deception, Hogan got that extra bet on the river, Jesse.
Pavlov there, you can see he's in a small blind and counting his remaining chips. And to be honest, he's probably going to feel pretty good he's got so many left.
850 from seat 4.
Yes, it would have been hard for him to have lost much less in that pot. Now Hogan straight back in there with a very, very different kind of hand.
Well, this is what Rory Liffey likes to call a celebratory raise. Right after you've won the pot, right?
It's cheaper to have a cigarette or a cup of tea sometimes, Jesse, but at least he's got some kind of hand to do it with. We call it playing the rush as well, of course.
Are you getting the feeling that Pavlov and Hogan have got a bit of history? This is the third time they've matched up.
If they didn't before, they have now, Jesse. And Pavlov, this time he's got the better of it. And
a call.
Say more reasons to call than to raise, right? If you raise, it's hard to get action unless you're beat. Is that the idea, or?
Well, I mean, you could be representing some sort of a draw of your raise here, and it's horrible to keep on calling with a rag ace. And very interesting that Hogan's having another pop at it.
That is 2,350 from seat 4.
Well, you know, I mean, this is very, very good play by Hogan because, you know, Pavlov's got one of those kind of hands that once you're facing a second bet, it's very, very hard to like that hand now. Ah, but he knows where he stands. That's good, strong play. And once again, you know, he lost the minimum before and now he's made the maximum, Jesse.
It's absolutely incredible what these guys have going on. They're nearly psychic, and I mean, you could say that Pavlov's made a bet here where he cannot get action unless he's in terrible trouble, but he's made the right move.
I think Pavlov, you know, decided that he was representing a draw and he was disguising his ace, and that, you know, he was going to have to play it anyway, so he might as well give Hogan a chance to bluff, and that's exactly what's happened. And the Hogan, you know,
This is just for effect, right?
yeah, I mean, you know, he's got absolutely, he's got no hand, no draw, no way to win, and Pavlov looks like he's, you know, he's all that. Pavlov knows he's in front. You know, he doesn't know that he's absolutely 100% locked up, but Pavlov looks very relaxed, and Hogan's just shaking his head and thinking, I just got all that money with those aces, and look what I did.
I'm the one with ace 4. I had ace 4.
And I don't know, what's the score? Is it 1-1, 2-1, or 3-0? But this Russian-Irish, maybe he's drinking White Russians, is starting to get some chips back. This game is moving at a ferocious clip. And is the level in the tournament, you just hear the hum getting louder, people getting more excited. It's getting tense.
All in
Yes, I mean, you know, people wait all year for this event. And a lot of people coming back from their dinner break now, and they feel that, you know, that they've entered the second phase of the tournament. This is the beauty for Parkinson of playing a lot of hands.
Well, Shepard has open shoved. You know, he only had about 10 big blinds, Barney.
Right, okay, well, that, you know, it's one of those hands that plays itself. Now, everybody knows that Parkinson's got to have a proper hand to come over the top when somebody's all in.
And Parg, a lot of times would have expected to be in a race there. Pretty happy to see the under pair. Unless the 5 comes, it is going to be the end of Shepard and a nice pickup for Parkinson. There is a diamond chance for Brian Shepard.
And the straight draw as well, if a 4 comes down.
He's going to need
a 5 now.
Well, the 4 is... He's going to need.
Oh, no.
He's going to need a few more. The 4's
Scrub that. I'm glad you were paying attention, Jesse. You didn't fall for my April Fool.
How bad you're feeling? I'm feeling bad now. Good luck to you.
And Brian Shepard just nothing really went right for him. I think he had a little trouble before he got to this table. Parkinson, that's the first pot he's won.
I'm not going to Barney Boatman saying I'd have called with that. We know that.
Well, Barney, chips have flown around this table. I mean, get a handle on it.
Wow. Look at Jen Mason. She's in such a good position to make a good deep run in this tournament, Jesse. But Pavlov, I mean, he's the player that's really impressed me up to now. As has Steve McGrath and Donica O'Day. In fact, they're all playing great, Jesse. They're all playing great.
Straight into the action. The raise on the button from Parkinson, the call from Donica O'Day. Keep your eyes peeled for this one. And Donica, as you said, he's been playing with Parg for years and years. And oh my gosh, Parg's all over this flop. And look at
well, yeah, but O'Day's got a bigger flush draw, so.
And Parg's bet over the pot. He's bet 2,000 into 1,700. It's the kind of thing that's inducing a shove from OD.
Well, OD's got exactly the same, the kind of hand that you would shove with, and as it happens, he's got a lot of outs, considering how much of the flop Parg has hit here.
Parg's started with about 12,000. Donica's only started with a few thousand more. They're very close in chips.
Raise to 6,000.
All the chips are going in.
And raise all
I don't know if Donica can get away from this.
Well, of course he can't, and you know, he can, as it happens, hit a king or a heart. But Parkinson, a decent favourite at the moment.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How are you at the heart, Tony? What?
Who's favourites?
I am. I never lost one of these.
11,700.
What's in the difference? I don't know favourites.
See who wins it.
11,700 and change on it. They're thousands.
Still alive.
10, 11,700.
Well, these guys have been in this kind of situation so many times, and
10 and a half.
they're just going to sit back now and let fate decide. But it's a shame that we're either going to be losing one of these great players, or else we're going to be left with one with very, very few chips indeed.
What percentage did we spend?
The king, the heart for OD. All the other cards are Parkinson's right now.
It's a hard one to call, like, no?
Yeah, it's a Jack 7.
He doesn't want to hit his flush. Donica does.
Parkinson, the big favourite now in this clash of Irish poker royalty. One card to come, OD needing a heart or a king.
Jesus, amazing we managed to get a pot going at all with those two crappy hands.
Oh, it's a flush!
Sorry, buddy.
Park's out!
Cheers, good luck, guys.
That river card, not kind. The Irish legend, and OD has
You're on the 6, yeah.
booted one of his longtime rivals, friends, and peers.
Well, he said sorry, buddy, and I think he meant it. And obviously he wanted to win the pot, but Barry Parkinson, his old friend, he would have probably rather have had his company for a bit longer and got his chips from somewhere else, Jesse.
It was all going pretty well, but then when I got to the TV table, people who were passing before they got to the TV table all of a sudden became very brave. And I was trying to run all over the table, and they played very well. They kept playing back at me, and I kind of lost. I'm back from being in a good position to being in an average position, and then I played a pot with Donica, with my old pal Donica, sorry, my ex-pal Donica.
He didn't do anything wrong, actually. He played it well. He overbet the pot on the flop, so it looked like he had something pretty good. But Porrick raised with so many pots. I've got a hand that's sort of a gambling hand. I was concerned that he could have the ace with another heart. That's the one hand that I'm going to be in really bad shape with. But he overbet the pot, and I raised, and then he moved in. I couldn't throw it away, but he was a little bit the best of it. He probably maybe 11-8 on or something when we put the money in.
Obviously, Donica can win with a king or a heart, but I've got two of his hearts, and we're both on the same flush, and he hit it on the river. There's very little in it on the flop. It was just, everybody did what they had to do. And, sometimes poker works like that. You get locked into a pot. There weren't two massive hands, but, once the flop came down that way, everybody just did what they had to do. Sometimes it's pretty automatic.
He's one of these players that you can't really read. And, he's prepared to bluff in any situation. So, he's got the complete game.
But, it was a wonderful tournament. The turnout was unbelievable, and I think, anybody that's come to Ireland and played this tournament will appreciate it. This is as good as poker gets, there's like 2.2 million or something in the prize fund there, and, guys are playing it, the way Irish poker has always been played. It's been played in a very good spirit, with gay abandon a lot of the times. The Irish love a gamble, and, this is just a wonderful ad for Irish poker.
Join us next time as we move down the field of entrance. We say our hello and goodbyes to some world-class players and personalities and introduce you to the bubble board. See you then.